Do not rush to throw away an old torn towel. It may not be usable in the same way anymore because it is worn or has a tear, but many other parts of it are still in good condition and look nice. Instead of throwing it out, I choose to reuse the parts that are still intact and turn them into something new. This helps save money and reduce waste. In this video, I want to share a very simple way to recycle a torn towel so you can turn the good parts into something useful in your everyday life. First, we start by measuring the foot. Measure the length of the foot from the tip of the big toe all the way to the heel. Make sure the foot is resting naturally on the floor. Next, we measure the width of the foot. Find the widest part of the foot. When you measure, add about 2 centimeters more than the actual width. Now we come back to our towel or fabric, lay it flat on the table, smooth it out with your hands, and then fold it in half neatly. Take a pen or chalk and mark the length and the width based on the measurements we just took. After marking the points, use a ruler to connect the marks and draw a rectangle. Take a moment to check if the lines look straight and balanced. When everything looks good, pick up your scissors and carefully cut out the rectangle you just drew. Now take this rectangular piece of fabric and place it on another part of the folded towel. Trace around it to mark a second rectangle. This way, both pieces will be exactly the same size. Cut along the lines. Because the fabric is folded, you will also cut through the connected edge, and now you will have 2 separate rectangular pieces. Next, we begin shaping the shoe. On one short end of the rectangle, draw a rounded curve. This will be the toe of the shoe. On the other end, draw a gentle inward curve, like a small arch. This part will become the heel. Adjust the curves a little if needed, so everything looks balanced and smooth. Then cut away the extra fabric along the lines you drew. Now place this shaped piece onto another part of the towel. Trace around it carefully to create the second piece. This step is very important. The 2 pieces must be exactly the same, or the shoe will not look even when we sew them. Once you finish tracing, cut it out. At this point, you should have 2 identical slipper upper pieces. After that, identify the toe area, which is the rounded end. Find the center point of that rounded edge. From that center point, measure straight down 12 centimeters and draw a clear straight line. This line will guide our stitching and help form the shape of the upper part of the shoe. Do the same thing on the second piece. Now we start sewing. Stitch along the straight line in the center and also along the curved edge at the heel. You can use a simple running stitch or a back stitch if you want it stronger. By the way, I'm curious, when you hand sew parts like this, which stitch do you usually use? Please feel free to share in the comments. I would really love to learn from all of you. God brings us together to share and learn from one another. After finishing the straight line, continue sewing along the curved heel edge. Keep your stitches even and firm so the thread will not loosen when we turn the fabric inside out. Once everything is secure, gently turn the fabric through one side opening. Now you can see the upper part of the slipper taking shape. It already looks quite a bit like a shoe, with a rounded toe and a soft opening that will hug the foot. It is only missing the sole for now. Repeat the same sewing steps with the second piece, and just like that, you now have 2 slipper uppers finished. This means we are already halfway through the process. Now we move on to making the sole of the shoe. This part is very important because it decides how comfortable the shoe will feel when you wear it. First, take a piece of cardboard. Place your foot on top of it, and use a pen to draw around your foot carefully. Take your time with this step. After you finish drawing, gently adjust the outline to make it smoother and more balanced. You can widen the toe area and both sides a little so the shoe feels more comfortable when worn. Once you are satisfied, use scissors to cut out this cardboard piece. This will be our shoe sole pattern. Next, place the pattern onto our towel fabric. Use chalk to trace around the pattern. If you want the shoe to be thicker and softer, you can cut one more sole piece exactly the same and layer them together. This is especially helpful for keeping feet warm and comfortable. Now use scissors to cut along the marked lines and remove the extra fabric. After cutting, turn the right side of both sole layers outward so they are ready to sew. After that, place the sewn upper part of the shoe on top of the sole. Carefully align the toe of the shoe with the toe of the sole and match the heel of the shoe with the heel of the sole. Take a moment to adjust everything so it sits neatly and evenly. When everything looks right, we begin sewing the shoe upper to the sole. Sew all the way around the edge. Keep your stitches even and close to the edge so the shoe is strong and will not come apart during use. While sewing, let me ask you a small question. Where are you watching this video from? Please leave the name of your country or region in the comments below. We would love to connect with people who enjoy sewing from all over the world. Thank God that simple hand sewing can bring us closer together like this. Once you finish sewing around the entire sole, tie the thread carefully and cut off the extra thread. Then gently turn the shoe to the right side and shape it with your hands until it looks round and neat. One soft fabric shoe is now complete. The other shoe is made in exactly the same way. Just repeat all the steps slowly and patiently. I know some of you may think this method is a bit complicated, and buying a new pair of shoes would be faster and look better. I understand that. However, here, I simply want to share a way to reuse an old towel as a form of recycling. This method is suitable for those who enjoy relaxing and reusing old items at home. Sewing like this can be very calming, and I believe God blesses the quiet moments we spend creating with our hands. Now that the second shoe is finished and the thread is tied securely, let us turn it to the right side as well. At this point, our pair of shoes is fully completed. With the soft cotton material, they can help keep your feet warm in winter. They feel gentle and comfortable when worn. Because the sole is soft, these shoes are best used indoors only, but they are very practical and cozy. So without anything too complicated, we have created our own pair of fabric shoes from an old towel. And now our pair of fabric shoes is fully finished. From an old towel and a bit of patience, we have created something warm, soft, and useful with our own hands. Thank God for the time we shared together and for the joy of simple sewing. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss future sewing tips and recycling ideas. Your support truly means a lot to us. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.